Morning and welcome from Khlong Toei wet market in Bangkok. So this is the biggest wet market in Bangkok. Selling to locals obviously to cook at home. But all your small little restaurants, small little cafes. Fancy a bit of pig face there, 70 baht. All your little cafes and restaurants, they're all going to come down here to get stock. It's pretty fresh if it's still moving. So if you don't like what you see, as in, I know it's a little bit different from Western hygiene standards food, but if you're eating 1,800 baht meals in Bangkok from, you know, cute little cafe restaurants around the tourist areas, well, have a guess what? They're not going to Macro to get the stock. I must be honest as well, in all the times, all the years I've been coming to Thailand and the years I've been travelling, I've always eaten at street stalls, street cafes, especially when I was younger, when I didn't have as much disposable income. You know, the name of the game for me was eating as cheaply as possible. But I've never really been sick in Thailand, so I've had a little bit of a dodgy stomach, odd time, but I've never been seriously sick, seriously ill. And like I say, I've always eaten in street stalls and stuff like that, in markets, cow gang shops at the side of the road, at service stations, and I've never really been that ill. Price of chicken feet are 80 baht a kilo, and that's the same price as chicken breast. Crazy, eh? But yeah, the only times I have been really ill is India with food poisoning, and I was in a hell of a mess. I was sort of thinking about going to the hospital. I was losing fluids from all orifices that fast. I was just severely dehydrated and weak. But I got a private doctor that came to the hotel, give me a couple of litres of saline and a few meds, and I was good as gold. But I've never had that experience in Thailand, so I know people like freak out a little bit when they see, you know, unrefrigerated or only refrigerated by small amounts of ice with meat, because I suppose it's just not what we're used to. But I think the main thing is things getting cooked properly. If everything's cooked properly, you don't really have any problems with food poisoning. I'm still blown away at the price of chicken's feet though. £100 a kilo for pork mince. Pig's trotters, 70 baht a kilo. I know the pork prices have absolutely shot up in Thailand recently. I think they've put like a semi-ban or a limited export sales on pork just to try and stop the soaring prices over here. But I know even the rice prices since the war in Ukraine, the price of fertiliser has absolutely gone through the roof in Thailand. As most of the urea pellets that were purchased for the nitrates to go into the fertilizer came from Russia, and that's stopped now. So I believe they're sourcing from India now to make the fertilizer, but fertilizer's basically doubled in Thailand now. And if fertilizer doubles, obviously I don't think rice has quite doubled, but I think it's about 60% higher than it previously has been. And I think the only problem with the cost wages, especially in Thailand, haven't nowhere near reflected a rise in inflation. The only option then for restaurants is cafes, is either to cut portion size, which I think they're a little bit reluctant to do. You can't see any wild toads there for 100 baht. Yes, I think they're a bit reluctant to cut portion size, so unfortunately it turns into a product quality that's cut. They're sourcing the cheaper products, they're bulking out of existing products, and I don't think it makes a very good combination really. You can sort of experience a lot of there's a lot of illegally imported meat coming from Laos and Cambodia now, and if that's, you know, I think that could be a problem hygienically. You know, if that's put on a truck from Laos and then it travels 3 days and it's not refrigerated properly and it's just washed down. And I know they are stamping on it with chemicals to get rid of smell and stuff like that. So that could be a problem for food hygiene in Thailand. Even like the offal prices, so the offal price, you know, everything seems to be the offal even, it's like 50-60 baht a kilo. Which is strange when you could get, like, you know, nice fish like that for 70 baht, 60 baht a kilo there, 50 baht. Eels must be quite rare at 190. That's a pretty good sign though for the chicken skin to be as yellow as that. I'd say that's come from a family farm. Looks quite organic to me, does that? But still, like chicken feet, 40 baht a kilo. It looks like chicken heads for 20 baht a kilo if you fancy a nice rooster head. Sweet and sour chicken face. Like some of the only stuff that I can't really eat. I've eaten quite a lot of strange stuff in my years of travelling. But I just can't get my head around chicken feet. I really can't. Obviously they're normally boiled in a soup. The skin sort of turns to like a jelly. So the way to eat them is just to put them in the mouth and then you suck off the skin and the cartilage, which is sort of solidified. But yeah, I just can't seem to manage that. Chicken feet and frogs. I don't mind frogs' legs, but the main body of the frog, when they stuff it with rice, it's got like a really big breastplate in it, and it's not my idea of the good food. But each to their own, you know. I know a lot of people that when they've been out for a beer, they like to call at certain places that sell chicken feet soup. it is a massive place, this Khlong Toei market. Khlong Toei is quite famous for the area which is illegally occupied, so I suppose the terminology I use for it is the Khlong Toei slum. I don't really like to call things or call places a slum, you know, it's where people live and they have for years. But it's sort of contested land. It's been built up illegally over the years. And again, this is another place that eventually I can't see surviving. I'm not sure what they'll do with the people that live there, but if you look around Khlong Toei on a map, if you look, you know, you've got all the parks, you've got a lot of really nice condos, and I think eventually that a government will attempt to rehouse these people. I think it's government owned land. I think it possibly they might be owned by the army or some institute. But eventually it'll be worth too much money and the people will have to move on. But it's a huge community, you know, like all the people that live there work all over the city. It's the cheap labour force of Bangkok, really. I think a lot of the market is zonal as well, so the area that I'm in now, it seems like everywhere's closed down, so I presume it'll be more the wet market through the day. And then on a night you've got more stores that seem to be open. But I know it's 24 hour. It's a 24-hour market. Got a lot of sun-dried products here, sun-dried squid, fish. I don't mind the little squid, the sun-dried squid that you throw on the barbecue, they're not bad. Price of seafood. Like squid's pretty expensive now, $2.20 a kilo. All these fish here that are still breathing, they'll be regional fish, so they'll have been up from the province, the fresh water. Got crabs, baby octopus. I've never really seen octopus in Thailand, to be honest. Always just had squid. Prawns, shellfish. If you do come out, you do need a little bit of a strong stomach, because the smell is a little bit strong. It's not too bad in the fish area, it's not too fishy, because everything is probably a day fresh. And I know it all gets power washed down, the certain areas get power washed down on an evening, but the meat area was a little bit strong. I suppose bits of rotten meat sat in the drainage system that's kicking up a little bit. $20 for a quart of a watermelon. if you did make it to the end, thanks for watching. I'm going to see if there's any other areas that are worth having a look around in the rest of the market.